We would like to acknowledge that this podcast was recorded on the lands of the Wurundjeri and Boon Wurrung people of the Kulin Nation. We value their cultures, identities, and continuing connection to country, waters, kin, and community. We pay our respects to their elders, past, present, and emerging. James.
Yo.
James.
Yes.
James. Listen,
Hello.
mate, this is important. This is important. Listen, this is important. Australia finally legalised same-sex marriage. Hero rats were hired to protect elephants from landmines in Africa. Prison inmates in New South Wales donated their own funds to feed hungry kids in their local community. YouTube star April the Giraffe gave birth to a young male calf. And in a welcome sign of diversity, Moonlight, Barry Jenkins, Mahershala Ali and Viola Davis won at the Academy Awards. The year was 2017. I'm Rich.
I'm James.
And that's Popcorn.
Boom, 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 boom.
Their behaviour's not good.
Just stop you now, right there, because
The Swapties.
One lamb kebab.
I've abandoned my child!
Now, give me money.
Tell me who sent you.
Listen, mate, this is important.
Now it's $10.
Oh, survivors.
I thought you were real. That's popcorn.
That's Popcorn. Hello!
Boo! Hello.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of That's Poopkin. That's popcorn.
That's poop can.
That's just poop can.
It's a poop
Hey guys,
can.
welcome to That's Poop Can, where we rate top 10 poop cans that you can find
Best toilets.
on Gumtree. Best toilets.
Best toilets in Melbourne.
Not
Not public ones, just best ones.
That's right. There's no crap on this show except for the crap going into these toilets. No, that's not what we do.
This
is-
You're on the wrong podcast.
Wrong
Yeah.
podcasts.
That's why
up
we're
late.
recording on Tuesday.
That's right. Welcome to That's Popcorn. That's the what is this? This is the show where we watch a good and bad film from a certain year, and this is the episode where we decide what film that is from that year.
Yes. That's a very good way to describe it, I think.
Succinctly
Got it
put, I
spot
thought.
on. I don't think there's going to be any confusion as to what we're doing here
Nah.
from
I mean,
anyone that might be listening to this as the first episode.
Yeah. Yeah, the 4 people that listen to this have probably got it down by now.
They're worked out.
So we're doing 2017 this year.
Yes.
What was your 2017 like, James?
I don't remember. I think it's too recent for me to be able to just be like, oh yeah, that was the year when I did this. Like 2017, I was in the same job that I'm in now. I was in the same house that I'm in now. Like it might as well have been last week.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I was around the corner in 2017, so it was a little bit different for me. Having
True.
moved
Instead of
since.
across the river.
That's right. Don't tell anyone. South of the river. Oy.
Oh, God. We just lost 3 of the 4 listeners.
Oh no. 2017. You had the ultimate responsibility of looking at the good films of 2017. Do you want to run us through what we've got?
Let's go through. There's a few, and some of them seem pretty average, but some of them seem good. So we should be able to knock a couple of these on the head right off the bat.
Great.
But let's start at the top with Coco, Pixar's Coco, where despite his family's generations-old ban on music, young Miguel dreams of becoming an accomplished musician like his idol Ernesto de la Cruz. Desperate to prove his talent, Miguel finds himself in the stunning and colourful land of the dead. After meeting a charming trickster named Hector, the 2 new friends embark on an extraordinary journey to unlock the real story behind Miguel's family history.
Have you seen Coco before?
I think I've seen half of it, but it was just like on. I wasn't really paying attention, so I stopped it and said I will give this attention again one day. it's pretty much universally loved
Mm.
amongst critics and audience and everybody, just like every Pixar film, except for some of them.
Except for Cars 2.
Yeah. And Cars 3. Did they do a Cars 3?
Did they do a Cars 3?
They did Planes, which was like a spin-off.
Really?
Yeah.
That was oh, God. Yeah, look, I haven't seen Coco, but I am keen. I am keen to see Coco. That sounds like it would have been a better sentence.
Keen as Coco.
Yes. What else we got?
We got 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri. After months have passed without a culprit in her daughter's murder case, Mildred Hayes makes a bold move, painting 3 signs leading into a town with a controversial message directed at William Willoughby, the town's revered chief of police. When his second-in-command, Officer Dixon, an immature mother's boy with a penchant for violence, gets involved, the battle is only exacerbated. I very much enjoyed that film when I saw it. Have you seen it, Richard?
Yeah, great film.
Very good performances from everyone. It does have Sam Rockwell, who I think is one of my favourite of the Rockwells and the Sams and actors and people.
Are there other Rockwells?
It's Norman Rockwell.
I don't know Norman Rockwell.
He's a painter. Did all those American Thanksgiving family paintings. And that's all the Rockwells I know.
Isn't there's an Australian actress in this?
Yeah. What is her name?
Oh, well, there's actually 2. So there's Abby Cornish.
Yes.
From such great entertainment as Life Support, the SBS comedy DIY show. Good. I think that's all I remember her from. So good on you, Abby. And Samara Weaving.
Ah.
Yeah.
Who was she in it?
She was the girlfriend of someone. Yeah. Was it Frances McDormand's ex-husband or something?
Yes. Yes.
And she was quite good in it. She had some pretty good
comedic
comedic one-liners or something.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, it's a good movie. I dare say I will watch it again, even if we don't choose it. Next film is Logan. In the near future, a weary Logan cares for an ailing Professor X at a remote outpost on the Mexican border. His plan to hide from the outside world gets upended when he meets a young mutant who is very much like him. Logan must now protect the girl and battle the dark forces that want to capture her. If you don't know anything about X-Men or the context of that synopsis really means nothing to anybody.
I guess, but the film's actually quite good. Even if you haven't seen X-Men, I think it would still be a good watch.
Yeah. It's gritty, isn't it? It's got some grit.
It's got some grit. It's it's not that regular table salt. That this stuff needs to be ground to be enjoyed.
Wow. Logan. I do. Is it one of those films? I saw the trailer and I knew it was set in Mexico because it uses the Mexican filter.
The Mexican filter?
The Mexican filter where everything is that sort of weird washed out red color.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm like, this is definitely not in Canada.
They do. I think they do go to LA at one point.
And it would be blue. Really lots of blue.
Yeah. And there's just a dolly shot of just people betting or something and losing their mind. There's always a dolly. There's always a zoom in of people going rolling a dice onto some roulette thing. No.
Wait. You said Las Vegas, didn't you?
Yes.
I heard Los Angeles and I'm just like, you've got your places confused.
Yeah.
I was the confused one.
I just went with the whole theme of Las Vegas being blue and I'm like, okay, I guess, sure. Why not? Right. What else is there?
Call me by your name, please. So call me Richard. In the summer of 1983, a precocious 17-year-old Elio Perlman is spending the days with his family at their 17th century villa in Lombardy, Italy. He soon meets Oliver, a handsome doctoral student who's working as an intern for Elio's father. Amid the sun-drenched splendor of their surroundings, Elio and Oliver discover the heady beauty of awakening desire over the course of a summer that will alter their lives forever.
I haven't seen this one, but I've seen some other films from the director.
Who directed?
He did Suspiria,
Oh.
the remake of Suspiria, which is great. He did another film called A Bigger Splash with Tilda Swinton and Ralph Fiennes and dude from a Scandinavian country, Matthias Schoenaerts.
Yep, good. Everyone, I'm sure all listeners at home know exactly who that is.
Yep. He was in Rust and Bone and The Danish Girl and Red Sparrow.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoyed A Bigger Splash. I really enjoyed Suspiria. Call Me By Your Name. I don't know. I find Timothée Chalamet hard to watch.
I find his name hard to pronounce, so I'm going to call him by my name. So his
I
name
find
is
James
now
hard to watch.
James.
All right.
Next movie, it's Ingrid Goes West, not to be confused with Fievel Goes West, which is a great film, but I think not from 2017. Ingrid Goes West, following the death of her mother and a series of self-inflicted setbacks, young Ingrid Thorburn escapes a humdrum existence by moving out west to befriend her Instagram obsession, a Los Angeles socialite named Taylor Sloan. After a quick bond is forged between these unlikeliest of buddies, the facade begins to crack in both women's lives with comically malicious results. Comically malicious.
Is this the Aubrey Plaza one?
It is Aubrey Plaza.
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it. Look, I don't know if we can classify this as a universally loved great film. Critics gave it 86. That's right. Audience 71.
Nah.
No, it's got 6.6 on IMDb.
Oof,
that is middling. That is comically middling.
Yes. In the bin. Ingrid Goes South.
The bin. Next up is Step. Step. The senior year of a girls' high school step team in inner city Baltimore is documented as they try to become the first in their families to attend college. The girls strive to make their dancing a success against the backdrop of social unrest. It's a doco, pretty decent scores there. 96 on the tomatoes from critics, only 80 from the audience, but I feel like docos are a bit more divisive when people rate them.
How weird is that IMDb score? 6.9.
I mean, it would be super weird if it was just an emoji. That'd be weird. If instead of a score, they had a recipe for stew.
I mean, that's how we rate films.
Yeah, that's true. It would be that weird.
6.8, and then everything else is like 80s plus.
Yeah. I don't feel at home in this world anymore. That's all. Just
sorry, man.
Just a cry for help.
I mean, you and I and everyone else in 2020.
Yes. After being burglarized, is that a word? After being burgled? After being hand-burglarized, a depressed woman and her obnoxious neighbor set out to find the thieves, but they soon find themselves up against a group of dangerous criminals. So thieves, not dangerous, find other criminals that are dangerous. Have you seen this one?
Yes, I have.
Me too.
I remember enjoying it.
Yeah, I did too. Again, score-wise, you got an 89 from critics, 76 audience, 6.9 in IMDb. We're in the middling range again, I think. Yeah. Know what's not in the middling range? Well, it is, actually.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like the exact same scores.
It's going to be a segue, but yeah, it doesn't really know what is also in. All right, know who aren't dangerous criminals? Battle of the Sexes. Nope. Battle of the Sexes is a documentary about the Channel 10 game show from the 2000s.
What a classic show. I think I've got the board game version, or is that not related? Might not be related.
I think it is. It's all related. I mean, it's not related. No, in trueness, Battle of the Sexes is the 1973 tennis match between Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs, became the first watched televised sports event of all time. Trapped in the media glare, King and Riggs were on opposite sides of a binary argument, but off court, each was fighting more personal and complex battles, with her husband urging her to fight for equal pay. The Private King was also struggling to come to terms with her own sexuality, while Riggs gambled his legacy and reputation in a bid to relive the glories of his past.
Interesting. They could have just said opposite sides of an argument.
Opposite sides? Yeah, that's true.
Anyway.
I mean,
I always wanted to see this. I don't think it's going to make the cut today, but it's Emma Stone, isn't it? And Steve Carell.
Yes, that is who it is. Was Billie Jean by Michael Jackson about Billie Jean King?
Don't think so.
Well, I guess we'll never know. This next one is the first one with a big split.
Yeah.
You got It Comes at Night. Critics, 88%. Audience, 44%. I do like that it's split.
What happened there? Have you seen this? I've seen it.
I haven't. It is about how after a mysterious apocalypse leaves the world with few survivors, two families are forced to share a home in an uneasy alliance to keep the outside evil at bay, only to learn that the true horror may come from within. I feel like that story has been told a few times before.
I don't even remember what the outside evil is in this film, or if we ever see it.
Pandemic?
Yeah, it's just Pauline Hanson trying to deliver 100 stubby holders. Yeah, I that audience disparity makes me think that like there's more to that rating. Yeah, it's like I don't know. It's Joel Edgerton, and guy that's in everything now. He was in Girls as I think Charlie. He was in.
Keep going.
He was in. I want to say his name's like Michael or something.
Michael.
Classic. Good old Michael.
Call me by Michael.
Call
me by Michael.
Christopher Abbott.
Tony's son.
Oh, it's got Riley Keough. Yeah, look, it was fine. I don't know. I don't really remember it that much.
So it's a horror movie, yeah? Which, again, is what we brought up the other week when looking at these horror movies. Usually audience scores horror movies. Bing! Critics, boo. This one,
flipped. I think genre films in particular have had a bit of a resurgence in the last 5-10 years, especially horror, I think. Horror's gotten a lot more like highbrow.
To a degree, because you've got all the good horror movies that are like quite clever, like It Follows and Get Out, and then just the million Annabelle movies and Conjuring movies, and and how many reboots of Saw do we actually need? Yeah,
there was another one just called Jigsaw, and I'm like, they always find a way to have the original title, but just a little bit different.
Just a little different. Yeah,
I thought they were going to come out with like S01E07. And it's just like a guy being like, ow. It's like the kids' version of Saw. It's him growing up.
Saw 2, the owies.
It's like, what's his name? It's Tobin Bell. He's acting as a child, like not even getting a child actor in.
I would like it if it was animated as well. A 3D animated Saw movie.
Yes.
But they're actually all like hardware. So there's like little hammers walking around. Oh no, I'm stuck in a trap.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
Because it's Saw.
Yeah, Saw.
It's like Sausage Party, but with tools.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like the idea of Tobin Bell playing a 5-year-old and being like, I want to play a game. I want to go to nap time. Mommy, I done poo-poos.
God, almost spilled my drink.
And then at the end, the last line is like, I feel sore. And then that's how it ends. That's how it starts. Yep. That's the origin film for Saw.
Well, isn't the origin film for Saw actually Home Alone? Like
That's right.
That's the story on the internet.
Yeah, definitely. Didn't we watch something recently that was like a crap Home Alone?
I watched Baby's Day Out. But look, we can get into that later.
Oh yeah, that's for after the show.
That's for later.
So up next, what have we got?
Beach Rats. We have Beach Rats.
Isn't this the crime film from like Australia? No, that's Water Rats. Never mind. Go on.
Good. An aimless teenager on the outer edges of Brooklyn is having a miserable summer. With his father on his deathbed and his mother wanting him to find a girlfriend, Frankie escapes the bleakness of his life by causing trouble with his delinquent friends and flirting with older men online. When his chatting and webcamming intensifies, he finally starts hooking up with guys at a nearby cruising beach while simultaneously entering into a cautious relationship with a young woman. Again, critics 86%, audience 57%.
Nah, Ben.
It.
Yeah.
7 young outcasts in Derry, Maine are about to face a worse nightmare, an ancient, shape-shifting evil that emerges from the sewer every 27 years to prey on the town's children. Banding together over the course of one horrifying summer, the friends must overcome their own personal fears to battle the murderous, bloodthirsty clown known as Pennywise. It.
You seen it?
I have seen it. I did see it.
Did you see it too?
I did see it too. I'm gonna look. The critic scores for the first one. The second one I didn't like. Part 2 didn't like so much. The first one was alright, but I'm putting an X on this one. We're not watching it because I don't want to just spend the entire next podcast making jokes. Just it. Did you watch it? What did you think of it? Because that's 100% what I'm going to do. And
that's what's going to happen.
I'm going to have some self-control.
That is a very penny-wise decision of yours.
That's very good. That's how you make a pun out of it.
That's how you do it. You do anything except it.
In any case, the miniseries from the 80s or early 90s is much better.
Ooh. Controversial.
Yeah, I said it.
You definitely said it? Oh my God. Yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, exactly. It's just going to get very tiresome very soon.
Yeah.
Girls Trip.
Girls Trip.
Girls Trip.
Girls Trip.
Girls Trip. Best friends Ryan, Sasha, Lisa, and Dina. Dina.
Definitely got to be Dina, right?
Dina are in for the adventure of a lifetime when they travel to New Orleans for the annual Essence Festival. Along the way, they rekindle their sisterhood and rediscover their wild side by doing enough dancing, drinking, brawling, and romancing to make the Big Easy blush.
What's the Big Easy?
New Orleans is called the Big Easy.
Right.
It's like the Big Apple.
Okay, got ya.
Big Easy. Yeah.
Would you refer to a city as blushing?
No, that's what I was going to bring up. I don't think it really has enough skin to feel embarrassed. And also, I've been to New Orleans and, man, it's hard to make people embarrassed there.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
I mean, that alone makes me want to get rid of this film. I can't believe it has a critic score of 91. From that synopsis, it sounds like a kind of like throwaway film.
Trip.
Yeah.
But Girls Trip.
No, yeah. 91. Anyway.
Yeah, it's quite odd. I mean, the rest of the scores are middling. Darkest Hour. Ooh, The Dark Hour. This is a documentary about daylight savings time. The fate of Western Europe hangs on Winston Churchill in the early days of World War II. The newly appointed British Prime Minister must decide whether to negotiate with Hitler or fight on against incredible odds. During the next 4 weeks in 1940, Churchill cements his legacy as his courageous decisions and leadership helped change the course of world history. You seen this?
No, Gary Oldman in lots of
Oldman.
prosthetics, winning an Oscar.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. I wanted to. Ignore that weird edit just there. Yeah, no, I wanted to see this film and I haven't.
Yeah.
The end.
Yep. Agreed. Let's move on then. Princess Sid, or Kaid, I think it's Sid, CYD. A 16-year-old girl visits her aunt in Chicago for the summer. While there, she falls for another girl, and she and her aunt challenge each other's sex and spirit.
I feel like the word another doesn't need to be there.
She falls for another girl. Yeah, that's...
Well, there, she falls for girl, which is her. She falls for herself.
She falls for herself.
Just so you know, different girl.
Different girl. 95% critics
Huge.
score, Richard.
Huge.
That's huge. Audience, 81. And IMDb, 6.6.
I feel like we shouldn't bother with IMDb anymore. They're just sour.
That's just
sour
angry
grapes.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Angry internet people.
That's right. Get your shit together, IMDb.
The only good thing about IMDb, I will say, is my favourite part, which is the parents' guides for the movies, where it just points out all the things that kids shouldn't look at. And some of the descriptions are so much fun.
Oh, my God.
Remind me for future episodes to delve into that deeper.
Yeah, that'll be a That's Popcorn special. Do you remember, were you ever on IMDb when they used to have message boards?
Yes.
Oh, man, I miss that stuff. You'd find the most like bizarre things in there. They'll be like, yeah, I worked on this film. I made 17 sandwiches for Robert De Niro and he got food poisoning and that's why we couldn't shoot for 4 weeks. And it's like, you don't get that stuff anymore.
That's it. Instead, those people just have to go leave a review.
Yeah.
And they just go 2 stars.
Yeah, and that's
Robert
why the
De Niro
scores
got
suck.
food poisoning from my 17 sandwiches.
Damn it, De Niro. It's too many sandwiches. That's not food poisoning. That's just eating too much food.
That's just too many, yeah. Hostiles. This one doesn't look very fun or good. In 1892, legendary Army Captain Joseph Blocker reluctantly agrees to escort a dying Cheyenne war chief and his family back to their tribal land, embarking on a harrowing and perilous journey from Fort Beringer, NM, New Mexico, to the grasslands of
North Melbourne.
Montana. They soon encounter a young widow whose family was killed on the plains. The travellers must now band together to survive a punishing landscape that's crawling with hostile Comanches and vicious outliers. I think it's just somebody playing Red Dead Redemption and you just watch it.
It's just a live stream. It's a Twitch stream.
Yeah, it's a Twitch stream, yeah.
Yeah.
It's got Christian Bale in it.
Ah.
Yep.
Is this before or after The Revenant?
Oh, see, it's around. I reckon it's after. But it sounds similar.
He's in a lot of
like
Western films.
And like Civil War, oldie time. Lots of this beard.
Yes, that's for the people watching the YouTube clip. I think.
You all know the beard.
Yeah,
I'm talking
just
about.
imagine the beard. That's it. That's all I'm going to give you. You have to imagine it.
Yeah, it's not wide, and it's not full long, but it is longer than it is wide.
Yes,
because you don't get a lot of wide beards.
You don't.
No.
Sometimes, but not often.
Yeah.
It's a hazard. The wide beard, I think. Someone might grab it.
But good for keeping your 1.5 meter distance if you can do it properly.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. I challenge everyone to do a 1.5 meter beard. Also, I challenge everyone to draw whatever beard James is talking about and send it in to thatispopcorn@gmail.com and I'll put it on the next show.
War for the Planet of the Apes. I thought it was called War of the Planet of the Apes. No, it's for the Planet of the Apes. Caesar and his apes are forced into a deadly conflict with an army of humans led by a ruthless colonel. After the apes suffer unimaginable losses, Caesar wrestles with his darker instincts and begins his own mythic quest to avenge his kind. As the journey finally brings him face to face, Caesar and the Colonel are pitted against each other in an epic battle that will determine the fate of both of their species and the future of the planet. Very good scores. Critics 94, audience 84. But when I did look this up, the first thing I saw was a orangutan riding a horse, and I was like, that just looks so stupid. I'm like, I don't care how good a movie it is. That looks dumb.
Have you seen any of the later Planet of the Apes films? I started the one with James Franco, but I didn't end up finishing it. But I have always wanted to see them because people rave about them. As we can see.
Yeah.
Then maybe they shouldn't have called him Caesar, and then he wouldn't have led an uprising.
Yeah.
Maybe if they called him Happy Little Princess Balloon Boy. Dustin. Yeah. He might have won a couple of premierships at most, and everyone would have been happy. But no.
No, didn't happen.
Didn't happen. What's up next?
Beatrice at dinner. Snooze alert.
Oh, let's just skip this. Look at those scores.
Yeah, 75, 53, 6, 68. Beatrice goes to dinner with her family. I think, legit, that's just the synopsis of less words. The Beguiled.
Again.
Cool. Again, Ben?
48% audience.
Yeah, it's not good. And again, Civil War. I don't want to do Civil War.
Nah.
Well, Wind River.
Wine Driver?
It might be Wine Driver.
Yeah. Adam's
Wind
brother.
River. Corey Lambert is a wildlife officer who finds the body of an 18-year-old woman on an American Indian reservation in snowy Wyoming. When the autopsy reveals that she was raped, FBI agent Jane Banner arrives to investigate. Teaming up with Lambert as a guide, the duo soon find that their lives are in danger while trying to solve the mystery of the teen's death. I hadn't heard of this.
No.
But it sounds like something interesting.
Yeah. All right, Wine Driver.
Yeah. Also, it sounds a little similar to Mystic River in terms of death, cop trying to solve.
Death Cop.
Death Cop.
I want to see Death Cop. Can we see that?
What year was Death Cop? Reckon that'd... All right, just have a guess. Death Cop making it to the good films or bad films.
Ooh. Death Cop would Death Cop would definitely be in the bad films. 100%. It's probably Michael Keaton in a role that no one remembered, and he's a detective and he dies, obviously, but then he comes back and he solves crimes using the power of being a dead body. So he goes into crime scenes.
He's the Grim Reaper and the Grim Reaper solving crime.
Yeah. Oh, I was thinking like Swiss Army Man, but crime. Yeah.
I'd watch it. You just turned it into a good film.
Oh, damn it.
Logan Lucky, not to be confused with Logan.
It's just a re-edit of Logan where it goes well.
Ooh.
Yay. At the end, he's got his claws out and he's just carving cake. And he's like, yay.
West Virginia family man Jimmy Logan teams up with his one-armed brother Clyde and sister Melly to steal money from the Charlotte Motor Speedway in North Carolina. Jimmy also recruits demolition expert Joe Bang to help them break into the track's underground system. Complications arise when a mix-up forces the crew to pull off the heist during a popular NASCAR race while also trying to dodge a relentless FBI agent. Fun on a bun.
It's a great film. Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Love it.
So much fun.
Yeah, heaps fun.
Just fun. I like this, what's his name? James Bond man.
Daniel Craig.
I like non-James Bond fun acting that he does now.
Yeah. Knives Out.
Wait.
Also great.
Knives Out. So much fun.
That being said, I also just want to see the new Bond. So I wish they just didn't delay it. Thanks, COVID.
Thanks, Obama.
This economy.
Next up is Menashe. I'm going to screw up the pronunciation of that. Again, it's sort of it's a documentary. No, it's not. It's not a documentary. I thought it was, but it's not. Critics score 96%. Huge. Audience score 64%. Not big. Deep in the heart of New York's notoriously secretive Hasidic Jewish community, Menashe, a good-hearted but somewhat hapless grocery store clerk, struggles against tradition to keep custody of his only son after his wife passes away. I feel like with the audience scores we've got here, there's something deeper going on because Metacritic 81, Tomatoes Critics 96, audience 64, IMDb 6.5. And I don't want to cast any aspersions what that might be, but I just feel like there's jerks in the audience. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
Audience full of jerks. Speaking of full of jerks, Star Wars The Last Jedi. Luke Skywalker's peaceful and solitary existence gets upended when he encounters Rey, a young woman who shows strong signs of the Force. Her desire to learn the ways of the Jedi forces Luke to make a decision. I can't not laugh the second time. Make a decision that changes their lives forever. Meanwhile, Kylo Ren and General Hux lead the First Order in an all-out assault against Leia and the resistance for supremacy of the galaxy. Critics, 90%. Audience, 43%. Tell me that there's not just Star Wars people going, oh, there's too much. I don't know why they're complaining.
Look, I mean, not to turn this entire podcast into why Star Wars has the worst fans, but...
Worse than Menashe?
but I mean, yeah, this is, I don't know. I would say that this is actually probably the best of the last 3 Star Wars films. But it does things that people hate with their characters. So, you know.
Does it still have droids?
Still has droids. Still has droids. It is 500 times better than the last film, which I forget the name of.
The last film? The last Star Wars.
Star Wars film. That was garbage. But we're not in 2017, so...
Okja!
Great film.
Very good film.
Is this, is Okja Parasite director? Yeah.
Yes. For 10 idyllic years, young Mia has been caretaker and constant companion to Okja, a massive animal and an even bigger friend at her home in the mountains of South Korea. But that changes when family-owned multinational conglomerate Miranda Corporation takes Okja for themselves and transports her to New York, where an image-obsessed and self-promoting CEO has big plans for Mia's dearest friend. With no particular plan but single-minded in intent, Mia sets out on a rescue mission. Yeah, I really liked that movie.
Yeah, very good.
Very fun and creative, and got me in the that bit, chest, heart,
clavicle,
got me in the ribs. Fell there right in the ribs, right in the thorax.
Ouch.
Raw, which is not the Eddie Murphy movie
or the Katy Perry song,
or Monday Night's Wrestling.
True.
Stringent vegetarian Justine encounters a decadent, merciless, and dangerously seductive world during her first week at veterinary school. Desperate to fit in, she strays from her principles and eats raw meat for the first time. The young woman soon experiences terrible and unexpected consequences as her true self begins to emerge. That's what happened to Robert De Niro when he ate 17 sandwiches. Yeah, terrible and unexpected consequences.
That's right. And
his true self began to emerge.
Yeah, he was also at veterinary school. It's just a coincidence. This is a biopic of Robert De Niro's life.
You've seen this?
Yep.
I believe.
Yep.
I have not seen this.
Yeah.
French film?
Yep. Very good. Very good film. Very unsettling and a bit gory.
Ooh.
A bit of gore.
Blood
and guts. But yeah, worth seeing.
Sequel to Robert De Niro's documentary about him having sandwiches, The Big Sick. Kumail is a Pakistani comic who meets an American graduate student named Emily at one of his stand-up shows. As their relationship blossoms, he soon becomes worried about what his traditional Muslim parents will think of her. And Emily suddenly comes down with an illness, leaves her in a coma. Kamal finds himself developing a bond with her deeply concerned mother and father. Nice film, good film.
I found something unsettling about this film when I watched it, and I can't remember what it was. There's something about the relationship between him and his partner that I don't know. I can't remember. It doesn't make good podcast chat because I can't remember.
Yeah.
But huge ratings on this one.
Big ratings.
Mm.
Also big ratings. Wonder Woman!
Wonder Woman!
Wonder Woman! Before she was Wonder Woman, she was Diana, Princess of the Amazons, trained to be an unconquerable warrior. Raised on a sheltered island paradise, Diana meets an American pilot who tells her about the massive conflict that's raging in the outside world. Convinced that she can stop the threat, Diana leaves her home for the first time. Fighting alongside men in a war to end all wars, she finally discovers her full powers and true destiny. I haven't seen it. I was surprised when I saw these huge scores. I didn't know that people liked it as much as the internet is telling me they did.
I think it's good. I think it was the first in this like modern era of female-led superhero movies, I want to say. It was before Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And I feel like everything else is just like Iron Man, Captain Man, Thor Man, Spider Man,
Ant
Man,
yeah,
Logan Man,
Logan Man,
X Man. Yeah, and it's quite good. It kind of peters away towards the end.
Man, speaking of petering away, poor Peter. Imagine having your name. He must be saying "call me by my name" because stop saying petering away. Hate this.
Poor Peter. No one ever thinks about Peter.
Nah, always pumpkin eating.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Wonder Woman, not bad.
The Disaster Artist. The incredible true story of an aspiring filmmaker and Hollywood outsider Tommy Wiseau as he and his best friend, defiantly pursue their dreams and embark on the hilarious odyssey of making the now infamous cult classic, The Room. Seen it? Liked it?
Yeah.
You've also seen it?
Seen it. I'm dubious about whether it has appeal to people who don't know The Room. I've heard people
agree.
See it and say, "Oh, I love it," and I'm like, "Have you seen The Room?" And they're like, "No." So maybe it's fine, but yeah, or maybe that doesn't matter. You know?
Yeah, I thought it was a good standalone movie, I guess, but it's hard to say because we've got the context. Columbus. When a renowned architecture scholar falls suddenly ill during a speaking tour, his son Jin finds himself stranded in Columbus, Indiana, a small Midwestern city celebrated for its many significant modernist buildings. Jin strikes up a friendship with Casey, a young architecture enthusiast who works at the local library. As their intimacy develops, Jin and Casey explore both the town and their own conflicted emotions. I feel like a lot of that synopsis hinges on the fact that they like buildings.
Oh,
and I wonder how buildingy it is.
How buildingy?
Like, is this a film that architecture students and architects just like, you got to see Columbus?
Nah, because architecture fans are worse than Star Wars fans, so this would have a rating of like 40%.
Yeah, on IMDb it's got 7.2.
There you go.
3.2 on AMDB, which is the architecture movie database.
There we go.
Yeah. Let's touch and go from over there.
We're going to drag these jokes and their lifeless bodies across the line.
All right, let's scroll through these. Baby Driver.
Yeah, let's express around this.
Talented getaway driver Baby relies on the beat of his personal soundtrack to be the best in the game. After meeting the woman of his dreams, he sees a chance to ditch his shady lifestyle and make a clean break. Coerced into working for a crime boss, Baby must face music as a doomed heist to his life, love, and freedom.
Cancelled.
Cancelled. Can't watch it.
No, it's got Kevin. It's got 2 cancelled people in it.
2 cancelled people. Almost redeemed by John Hamm, but not enough.
And John Bernthal.
Yes. Who is that?
He's the dude he was in Walking Dead. He's the Punisher now.
Okay, next. Blade Runner 2049. Officer K, a new Blade Runner for the Los Angeles Police Department, unearths a long-buried secret that is the potential to plunge what's left of society into chaos. His discovery leads him on a quest to find Rick Deckard, a former Blade Runner who's been missing for 30 years. I'm going to make the joke because I have to. Can't watch it because I haven't seen the first 2048 Blade Runners.
I was waiting for it.
Yep, good. I made it.
You made it.
Wonder no more. Good scores. Pretty good. 88 and 81. I, Tonya. In 1991, talented figure skater Tonya Harding becomes the first American woman to complete a triple axel during a competition. 1994, her world comes crashing down when her ex-husband conspires to injure Nancy Kerrigan, a fellow Olympic hopeful, in a poorly conceived attack that forces the young woman to withdraw from the national championship. Harding's life and legacy instantly become tarnished as he's forever associated with one of the most infamous scandals in sports history.
Did Shaun Micallef get Milo Kerrigan's last name from Nancy Kerrigan?
Maybe. We'll have to ask him when we have him on the show.
Well, just you wait.
There's a spoiler.
I'd like to introduce you to no one.
Yeah, possibly. I haven't seen the movie. Have you seen the movie?
Yeah, very good.
Very good.
Very good. Some janky CGI at some point, but very good.
What kind of CGI? Oh, is it doing the triple axel?
Yeah, pretty much. It's the ice skating stuff. So like some of it's actually really good and then some of it's just not really good. Some clear face swaps going on.
Gotcha. Mudbound. Laura McKellen is trying to raise her children on her husband's Mississippi Delta farm, a place she finds foreign and frightening. In the midst of the family's troubles, 2 young men return from the war to work the land. Jamie McKellen, Laura's brother-in-law, is everything her husband is not, charming and handsome, but he is haunted by his memories of combat. Ronsell Jackson, eldest son of the black sharecroppers who live on the McKellen farm, now battles the prejudice in the Jim Crow South. I don't know much about this movie other than what I just read, and the fact that it's got some pretty decent high scores. Sounds interesting. This one, skip, block it out. Mother, you're gone.
Yeah, I don't know how you snuck in there.
Yeah, probably because it's Aronofsky and he's got an up and down track record anyway, so I still don't know. Good Time. Should be called Great Time. Great movie. A bank robber stops at nothing to free his brother from prison, launching himself into a night-long odyssey through New York's dark and dangerous criminal underworld.
What's his name?
Movie. The Safdie brothers.
New Batman.
Robert Pattinson. Robbie P.
Edward Cullen. What's his name? Robert Pattinson. Yeah. It's like Robbie P.
The notorious Robbie P.
Yeah. I've always wanted to see this.
You haven't seen it?
No.
Oh. Did you see Uncut Gems?
No.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
Almost did. It was on the list. And then I think we watched Grand Designs instead.
Look, it's similar.
Yeah, it's much the same.
Auctions. They've got auctions.
Oh, there you go.
Grand Designs doesn't have auctions. Anyway, that's a different podcast. A Ghost Story. 91% critics, audience 66. Passionate young couple, unexpectedly separated by a shocking loss, discover an eternal connection and a love that is infinite. The poster has like an old school ghost in a sheet with the eyes cut out. My brother-in-law said this movie is silly.
I like it. It's all right. I think 66% is probably not far off the mark. I think 91% critics is bizarre.
They're far off the mark.
Yeah. Yeah. Also cancelled. Casey Affleck next.
Look, good. The Post. Katharine Graham is the first female publisher of a major American newspaper, The Washington Post. With help from editor Ben Bradley, Graham races to catch up with the New York Times to expose a massive cover-up of government secrets that spans 3 decades and 4 US presidents. Together, they must overcome their differences as they risk their careers and very freedom to help bring long-buried truths to light. This movie should have been bigger than it was, seeing that it has Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks and is obviously made to win 30 Oscars, but didn't.
She was nominated, I think, wasn't she?
Well, she has to be. She's always
It's just automatic.
Like, it's the Oscar law. The Shape of Water.
It's like this.
That's the sound of the water. I forgot what a shape was.
Splish splash.
Eliza is a mute, isolated woman who works as a cleaning lady in a hidden high-security government laboratory in 1962 Baltimore. Her life changes forever when she discovers the lab's classified secret, a mysterious scaled creature from South America that lives in a water tank. As Elisa develops a unique bond with a new friend, she soon learns that its fate and very survival lies in the hands of a hostile government agent and a marine biologist. Did you see this?
Yeah. Fish Love the movie. Fish Love 3D. Yeah, look, I don't know. I'm not a big Guillermo del Toro fan.
Yeah.
I always find it all a bit kind of like, I don't know, a bit like not steampunky, but that sort of like edgy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. It's got the guy that plays the creature in all his movies.
Yeah. What's his name?
Man, if you know his name.
Doug Jones.
You could have made that up.
It's Doug Jones. It's Doug Jones.
Sounds right, though.
Yeah. He's in that new Star Trek show as well. Whatever that was called. Star Trek Go into Space 3D as well. Everything's
Trek's in the city.
Shrek, yeah. Star Trek.
Star Trek. The Florida Project. I've heard very good things about this movie. Set in the shadow of the most magical place on Earth, it's Disneyland. 6-year-old Mooney and her 2 best friends forge their own adventures while Mooney's struggling mum and a kind-hearted motel manager protect the kids from the harsh reality that surrounds them. Has Willem Dafoe. Willem.
He's always great.
Always excellent. And yeah, I know this movie made a lot of top lists, and the 96% critic score would echo that. Dunkirk did Kirk. In May 1940, Germany advanced into France. I didn't like saying that. Germany advanced into France, trapping Allied troops on the beaches of Dunkirk. Under air and ground cover from British and French forces, troops were slowly and methodically methadone clinically evacuated from the beach using every serviceable naval and civilian vessel that could be found. At the end of this heroic mission, 330,000 French, British, Belgian, and Dutch soldiers were safely evacuated.
Well,
Christopher Nolan.
Everyone raved about this film, and I don't know. I liked it, but
I thought it was very good. I wish I watched it on a bigger screen with better sound.
Maybe that's.
I didn't see it at the cinema.
Yeah.
I would again in future if it plays again somewhere, if cinemas exist.
That's right.
One day.
Yeah, true.
I think that would definitely make the difference. I did like it better than 1917, which are both pretty much a very similar film where it's just following people doing war.
Yeah.
And it's shot very well and creatively. Phantom Thread, renowned dressmaker Reynolds Didcock and his sister Cyril are at the centre of British fashion in 1950s London, dressing royalty, movie stars, heiresses, socialites and debutantes. Women come and go in Wilcox's life, providing the confirmed bachelor with inspiration and companionship. His carefully tailored existence soon gets disrupted by Alma, a young and strong-willed woman who becomes his muse and lover. I watched this quite recently, and it's terrific.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen it.
It's very good. It's a slow burn. It's probably like the slower of the P.T. Anderson movies.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got DDL. So
Can't go wrong.
can't go wrong. Whoa, jinx ya!
That's popcorn pear right there.
We got 2 more to go. Let's do it. Lady Bird. I'm going to argue with this critic score of 99%.
That's quite high.
That is very high. A teenager navigates a loving but turbulent relationship with a strong-willed mother over the course of an eventful and poignant senior year of high school. Look, I saw it. I thought it was a very good film. A 99% film?
I feel like that was news when that happened, when the critic score was that high.
Yeah.
But it's a good film.
It is a very good film. I know IGN originally gave it a 10. It's since down to a 9.2, which isn't a bad thing at all.
Why did they re-rate it?
I think because, you can't give something a 10. Like, how is a 10 means that everybody loves everything. Like, everybody who watches it.
A 10 means the reviewer loves it.
Yeah, you're right. But I think you've got to leave it somewhere to go. I never give anything a 10.
I give everything a 9, but I don't tell anyone that it's out of 9. They don't need to know.
Get out.
All right, fine.
Bye. Now that Chris and his girlfriend Rose have reached the meet the parents milestone of dating, she invites them for a weekend getaway upstate with Missy and Dean. At first, Chris reads the family's overly accommodating behaviour as nervous attempts to deal with their daughter's interracial relationship. But as the weekend progresses, a series of increasingly disturbing discoveries lead him to a truth that he could never have imagined.
Good film.
And has Lakeith in it. Love Lakeith.
Oh, love Lakeith. Have you seen Sorry to Bother You?
Sure have. Love Lakeith.
Strange, awesome film, I think. Not in this list.
Most bizarre film I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's great. It's really good. All right.
That's all the good movies. Whew.
That's a long list.
That was a long list. Maybe next time we'll cut down the list a bit, but I think that's still good fun.
Yeah. Shall we cut some films from this list while we're here?
Yeah.
There were a few that we mentioned then. I think Beatrice at Dinner was more like Beatrice in the Binner.
Yeah, that's very good. Mother, get rid of Mother.
Mother, get out.
Baby
Driver was cancelled, and then there was another one was cancelled. Ghost Story.
Yeah, Ghost Story cancelled.
Star Wars out.
Yeah.
What about Menashe?
Yeah, I don't think it was loved quite enough. There's Battle of the Sexes.
Yep, and we got rid of It.
Yeah, and we got rid of Girls Trip.
And we got rid of It Comes at Night.
Yeah. Hostiles, got rid of that.
War for the Planet of the Apes. You didn't want to see orangutans on horses, so.
Oh, hey.
No, I get it. That's fine. Whatever.
I definitely do want to see.
No, I mean you've put it down.
It's meant to be made, which is a GIF.
All right, I'll untick it. I'll put Wonder Woman off because it's got a really poor third act.
Okay.
I think Disaster Artist.
Yeah, do that. Let's get rid of the ones we've both seen.
Shape of Water.
Yeah, get rid of that.
As in, like, both of us have seen them, or either of us?
I haven't seen it, but I don't know.
Big Sick.
Yeah, I can get rid of that. Get rid of Dunkirk and Lady Bird and Get Out, I think.
Yep.
Scene.
I, Tonya is great, but I think let's move it on.
Yep.
Blade Runner is great, but I think let's move it on.
Yeah, move it on. Okja, both seen.
Yep. Logan Lucky, both seen.
Both seen. We did a war movie last time, so get rid of Darkest Hour.
Yep. And what was the other war one that was there? Oh, it was Dunkirk, wasn't it?
Yeah.
3 Billboards, we've both seen.
Both seen.
I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, we've both seen.
That's it.
Was Step any good? Or was that
it was
a middling?
Middling.
Right. Step off, mate.
Good.
I'm beguiled by that one. I don't remember what that one was about.
No, we skipped it. Blanket. It was middling. Yeah.
Middling. That's why.
Okay. Don't want to see the post.
Okay. Phantom Thread, you've seen.
Yep.
Good Time, you've seen.
I have, but I highly recommend it and wouldn't be adverse to watching again if it came up. Or we both go something that we haven't seen.
Yeah, let's go both. It'll make us get through this list faster, I think. So let's just move it on. In that case, I've seen Raw.
Yeah, give it that.
And I've seen Logan. So that leaves us with... What have we got?
I think the Florida Project could be a contender because
Yeah, I agree.
It did have a very high score and it's got Willem.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I think let's get rid of the one that's a bit too buildingy in Columbus.
Yes.
We all know we hate buildings. So
I hate them.
And look, I know you don't want to say it on podcast, but I know that you hate orangutans on horses, so I'm just going to do it for you. I'll edit this bit out definitely. Boop. That's me editing it back in. Don't worry about it. No one knows that you hate orangutans on horses. Sorry. I got to do it again. Boop. All right, cool. And no orangutans, horses. Don't worry about James.
That's very good.
Thanks. So we've got Coco, Call Me By Your Name, Princess Sid, Wine Driver, Mudbound, and the Florida Project.
Cool.
Shall we take a break and then
take a break?
We'll come back and we'll do the bad movies.
Baddies. Back
in a sec. Finger guns.
That's a big water bottle.
Oh, thanks. Welcome back.
Welcome
back. Yeah, g'day guys. Welcome back to bloody That's Popcorn. We're going to do the bad films now. Okay, starting with The Emoji Movie. Critics 7 out of 100. Audience 37. IMDb 3.3. Metacritic 12. Hidden inside a smartphone, the bustling city of Textopolis is home to all emojis. Each emoji has only one facial expression except for Gene, an exuberant emoji with multiple expressions. Determined to become normal, like the other emojis, Gene enlists the help of his best friend, High Five, and a notorious codebreaker called Jailbreak. During their travels through the other apps, the 3 emojis discover a great danger that could threaten their phone's very existence. This sounds like an idea that shouldn't have happened.
I hate that so much. I started getting mad while you were reading it.
Next, we've got Australia Day. Critics 53, audience 40, IMDb 5.5, Metacritic NA. Synopsis. A trio of intertwined tales of racial prejudice, misunderstanding, and revenge play out against the backdrop of Australia's national holiday. I don't want to watch that. Stratton.
It feels like Australia's version of Crash.
Yeah, and it doesn't look great. And it's got that guy that's in every Australian film. Burton Yin. No, I don't know. Stratton's next. Critics 0, audience 19, IMDb 4.8, Metacritic 26. After the death of his American counterpart, an MI6 agent and his team must race against time to stop a madman from unleashing stolen chemical weapons.
Wow.
Oh, these all look terrible.
Pretty poor score.
Yeah.
Ugh.
0. It's just 0.
Yeah, a 0. Wow.
0. That's got Aussie actor.
Burton Yin.
Yep, that's what it is. Carl Urban. Carl Urban? That's his name, isn't it?
Keith Urban.
Keith's brother. Keith Suburban. Flatliners is next. Critics 4, audience 32, IMDb 5.2, Metacritic 27. I was surprised at the scores of this one. I haven't seen it, but it just feels like the kind of film that would have like a middling score. So it's interesting to me that it's this bad. This is I think a remake of a 70s
It's a remake of the
80s film.
Which is great.
5 medical students embark on a daring and dangerous experiment to gain insight into the mystery of what lies beyond the confines of life. Basically, Ellen Page straps her head up to things and then they die for a short period of time and they come back and weird stuff happens, I think.
That sums it up.
We've then got Arsenal. Critics 3, audience 17, IMDb 4, Metacritic 25. The Lindell brothers, Mikey and JP, only had each other to rely on growing up. As adults, JP finds success as the owner of a construction company and Mikey becomes a small-time mobster. When Mikey is kidnapped and held for a ransom by ruthless crime boss Eddie, JP turns to the brothers' old pal Sal, who is a plain-clothes detective, for help. JP must risk everything and unleash his vengeance against King's relentless army of gangsters to rescue his brother. I assume King is the aforementioned Eddie, but it doesn't say that.
It's not explained who King is. Is it the King? Because I'm guessing this is a British monster film.
I was thinking like American Gang.
The name Arsenal.
Oh, yeah, true.
That was my thinking.
True.
But it might be right.
Unless it's a collection of weapons. Is that spelled the same way?
Oh, yeah, it might be. That could be it.
Anyway, looks bad. The next one is The Snowman. Basically, Fassbender is in this.
Yeah.
Detective Harry Hole.
That sounds like the worst superhero pseudonym ever. Harry Hole is the pit.
This is a fiction, right? This is like someone wrote this and then went, yeah, Harry Hole is the name I want to go with for my detective. Harry Hole. I dig a hole.
At least his name wasn't Richard.
Wow. And then we have 9/11.
His name would be Dick Hole.
Oh, please.
That's
it's not that kind of show. The Snowman is like a serial killer thing. It always looked like it should have been better than it is. I haven't seen it, but it gave off that, it's got the Fass in it.
Fassy.
Fass boy. Then we've got 9/11, which has this got Charlie Sheen in it?
Yes, it does.
Yikes. Imagine hiring Charlie Sheen in 2017. That's like...
Yeah, that's after everything happened.
Yeah.
That's after the Sheen happened.
It's also got Whoopi.
So it's like... It's got Whoopi?
I think so.
Oh, good.
Sheen and Whoopi. The combo we always wanted.
Yeah, I mean, it's not good when the synopsis for a movie about 9/11 has the word
Sugar Daddy. So on the morning of 9/11, a messenger sings happy birthday to his daughter. A messenger sings happy birthday to his daughter.
And it goes for 90 minutes.
I don't understand this already. A billionaire argues with his wife in a divorce hearing. This sounds like the intro to That's Popcorn. A messenger sings happy birthday to his daughter. A billionaire argues with his wife in a divorce hearing. A maintenance man begins his day, and a young Russian decides she's breaking up with her sugar daddy. The year was 2001. September 11. When the first plane hits the World Trade Center, these 5 elevator passengers find themselves trapped. Forced to band together, they fight against all odds to escape before the imminent and inevitable collapse occurs. This sounds really insensitive.
It does. It sounds like it definitely should not have been made. Yuck.
Yeah. Speaking of things that are uncomfortable, the next one is Naked. This is another.
Speak for yourself.
This is another. Naked is uncomfortable. Nude is fine. That's my theory.
Which one am I under the movie category?
I don't want to know. Naked is is another time loop film, another Run Lola Run, Groundhog Day, Edge of Tomorrow type deal. Russian Doll. There's so many of them. And it's got the Wayans brother dude.
Oh, no.
I think. No, maybe it's got the older Wayans. Anyway, it's got one of the Wayans. It's got a critic score of 0 again. So that's good. Then we've got Amityville: The Awakening. You were talking about trash horror films
there we go.
in parts of like an extended horror film universe or whatever. When some footage dating back to 1976 is discovered, the case of the haunted house in Amityville is reopened. An ambitious woman who is working as a television news intern seizes the opportunity to advance her career and is soon leading a team of journalists, clergymen, and paranormal researchers into the house. But she may have unwittingly opened a door to the unreal that she will never be able to close.
Oh, that's unreal.
Yeah, it's a Paul Jennings, Morris Weitzman horror film.
I mean, that's what needs to occur.
Yeah.
I'd watch the heck out of that.
Then we have
like a Round the Twist reboot.
That's right, like an edgy.
Gritty.
It's just called like Round
Twist
and Twisty. Twist. Korn does the soundtrack. The Only Boy Living in New York. This is a documentary about Donald Trump in 20 years. When he's had all his hydroxychloroquine, whatever it's called, and he survived the coronavirus pandemic. This looks terrible, I just gotta say. It's like about a guy who's just sleeping around New York, and then I don't know. I'm bored of that one already. Then we've got Slammer Jammer. I don't think we can include this one because it has no critic score and it has an audience score of 87. So I don't know if it's
what has happened?
I don't know if it's like brilliant or the worst. So
yeah, that's a shame.
Yeah. And then we have Geostorm. Yep, Geostorm. This is like Armageddon 2, essentially. After an unprecedented series of natural disasters threatened the planet, the world's leaders came together to create an intricate network of satellites to control the global climate and keep everyone safe. Already unrealistic? Leaders working together. But now something has gone wrong. The system built to protect Earth is attacking it, and it becomes a race against the clock to uncover the real threat behind a world geostorm.
Yes, you said
a world geostorm wipes out everything and everyone along with it. In this movie, Gerard Butler is a scientist. He's a scientist action hero. Anyway, there's a lot of that. It's like Indiana Jones is an archaeologist, and
so all these professors, and like Robert Langdon in the Da Vinci
right.
Code is
That's
like,
right.
Yeah,
it's silly.
Yes. How do these people learn how to use guns?
Yeah, and Vin Diesel in Fast and Furious is an astrophysicist.
Brain surgeon as well.
Yep. Jason Statham
that's his side hustle.
In Hobbs and Shaw is a taxidermist. Don't know.
That actually sounds good. Imagine the pranks you could do.
Yeah, he's going to I'm going to stuff the out of your old dead cat. Just quietly. I never try to Statham, and I feel like that was not bad for a first crack.
That was excellent. It was like it was really threatening me.
Then we have Rings.
My cat ran out of the room.
Sorry, big boy.
Yeah.
For people listening to the podcast for the first time who don't know us, the cat's name is Big Boy. I am not talking to James.
Call me by your name, Richard.
Next we have Rings. This is a documentary about the Olympics. This is like a sequel to The Ring.
Is it a reboot?
A reboot.
I think it's a reboot.
A young woman, Matilda Lutz, becomes worried about her boyfriend, Alex Rowe. I don't know if that's character names or actor names, but they're there. When he explores a dark subculture surrounding a mysterious videotape said to kill the watcher 7 days after he has viewed it. She sacrifices herself to save her boyfriend, and in doing so, makes a horrifying discovery. There is a movie within the movie that no one has ever seen before.
So is that saying that nobody has seen Rings?
As
And
in,
that there is a movie within Rings that no one has ever. I don't really know
it's like Inception.
which part has no one ever seen before.
This one. No one's ever seen this one.
This one, no one will.
Nope. We might. Chips is next. John Baker and Frank Poncherello have just joined the California Highway Patrol in Los Angeles. That's Los Angeles, James, but for very different reasons. Baker is a
ding ding ding. Let's gamble.
Baker is a former motorbike rider. Biker is a former motorbike raider who's trying to put his life and marriage back together. Poncherello is a cocky undercover FBI agent who's investigating a multi-million-dollar heist that may be an inside job. Forced to work together, the inexperienced rookie and hardened veteran begin clashing instead of clicking while trying to nab the bad guys. That's Chips.
Snooze.
The Bye-Bye Man. So good.
Bye.
They said it twice. 19, 22, 4.2, 37. They're the Keno numbers today, so good luck. People commit unthinkable acts every day. Time and again, we grapple to understand what drives a person to do such terrible things. I didn't realize that the synopsis for this film was going to be a TED Talk.
I didn't realize it was going to be explaining how someone made this movie.
But what if all of the questions we're asking are wrong? What if the cause of all evil is not a matter of what, but who? Whom? When three college friends stumble upon the horrific origins of the Bye-Bye Man, they discover that there is only one way to avoid his curse. Don't think it, don't say it. But once the Bye-Bye Man gets inside your head, he takes control. Why call it this?
Why call it the Bye-Bye Man?
Why call it the Bye-Bye Man? Unless it's got some, history. But even then, how do you make it serious? It's like, I don't know. It's like calling it, Bing Bong or something.
I'd watch Bing Bong.
It comes at night. It looks into your soul. It is Bing Bong. It's just so good. Then we've got The Last Face. Miguel Javier Bardem, a Spanish doctor, puts himself in harm's way to deliver medical treatment to the victims of military uprisings. Ren, Charlize Theron, is the spokesperson for an organization that funds medical assistance for impoverished nations the world over. They meet in Liberia, where Ren is immediately impressed with Miguel's selflessness, medical skill, and charm. They begin a torrid affair, one they must learn to balance with their important work. Interested that this has such poor scores. Critics rating of 8. I haven't seen it, but once again, it's one of these films that I feel like would just be middling. But there must be something quite bad about it.
I mean, it does feel like it's got a bit of that sort of, we are American and look at us help poor people.
Yeah, like a volunteerism type thing going on here.
Yeah, yuck.
Then we've got Kidnap. Critics 36, audience 50, IMDb 5.9. It's a lot of fights. Metacritic 44. A typical afternoon in the park turns into a nightmare for single mother Carla Dyson when kidnappers snatch her young son, Frankie. With no cell phone and no time to wait for police, Dyson jumps into her car to follow the vehicle that holds Frankie. As the pursuit turns into a frantic high-speed chase, Carla must risk everything and push herself to the limit to save her beloved child. This is Halle Berry, I think. Isn't this... Am I confusing with another film, or is this the one where she dies and then goes back to life again?
What?
Like another time loop one? Or is that a different... That might be a different film or a show or something. I feel like Halle Berry was in something like that. Or maybe it wasn't Halle Berry. But there was some...
you're thinking of confusing Halle Berry with Bill Murray?
That's it.
Yeah, you're always doing that.
Oh, man. It's easy to do, you know?
Because I was going to say, this synopsis just sounds like an episode of SVU. So, and there better be some sort of twist in it to make it worth anyone's while to make the movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, clearly there isn't because the scores are poor. I don't think it's the one I'm thinking of. I don't know what I'm thinking of. I don't think it's Halle Berry. But whatever, that's fine. We'll move on. Suburbicon. Suburbicon. Critics 28, audience 25, IMDb 5.7, Metacritic 42. Suburbicon is a peaceful, idyllic suburban community with affordable homes and manicured lawns. The perfect place to raise a family. And in summer of 1959, the Lodge family is doing just that. But the tranquil surface masks a disturbing reality as husband and father Gardner Lodge. No. Gardner Lodge? That's not a name. That's not a name.
Yeah, that's where you live. That's the Airbnb that you get just to get out of town for a couple of days.
That's nuts. Must navigate the town's dark underbelly of betrayal, deceit, and violence.
I have seen this movie.
Oh, really?
I hated it.
It's a Clooney directed pick, I think.
Yeah, it wants to be a Coen Brothers, but it's just awful. It is so awful. Like I came out of watching it and I was like, there is no joy in the world. I will never be happy again. It is awful. I'm increasingly believing that George Clooney is like just nothing without a good script. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right.
Because did he also do The Man Who Stared at Goats or something? I think that was one that he directed, and it was okay, but not fantastic.
I mean, he did Good Night and Good Luck, which was
actually.
Confessions of a Dangerous Mind. Did he do that as well?
Oh, he might have. The Sam Rockwell one.
That was cool. Yeah, you know how I feel about him.
Hey, he's your favorite Rockwell.
Best Rockwell.
All right, Clooney, you're still in the good books, mate. Just in case you were wondering, George, thanks for listening. We've got Daddy Homes too. Daddy's Home.
Is it called Daddy's Home? And you've typed it.
I might have.
Or is it called Daddy Homes?
I hope it's Daddy Homes. It's Daddy's Home.
That's a shame.
Daddy Homes too.
Daddy Homes. Katie Holmes is dad.
Daddy's Home 2. Father Instead. Oh, you know what? It's just gone. Whatever, stuff. It's a sequel. We've got too many films. Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Dane DeHaan is in this one with what's her name?
The
model turned actress.
Yes, from
Cara Delevingne. And they look like they're related because they have very similar looks. Dane DeHaan seems to be cursed to be in terrible films all the time.
I don't know who he is.
He was in Spider-Man, the second.
That's not bad.
There's not. No. The second Spider-Man one with Andrew Garfield.
Oh, the second of the second.
Yeah, he plays the Goblin dude. And he was also in A Cure for Wellness, which is in this list a little bit later. Valerian and City of Thousand Planets looked like it was going to be amazing. I never saw it, but it's from the Leon the Professional guy.
Besson.
Yeah, and Lucy and all those other films.
Again, up and down in his career. Fifth Element, brilliant. Leon, brilliant. Lucy, ridiculous.
The Mountain Between Us, I think it's Matt Daniel. Tomato critics say best tomatoes in town can be found at the local
Tomato critics agree.
Tomato critics agree. 3847, stranded on a mountain after a tragic plane crash, two strangers must work together to endure the extreme elements of the remote, snow-covered terrain. Realizing that help is not on the way, they embark on a perilous journey across hundreds of miles of wilderness, pushing each other to survive and discovering their inner strength. Yeah. It's hard to get excited about these films.
Just seems tedious rather than bad.
Here's one that was meant to be a lot better than it was. The Mummy. It's a critic score of 16, audience of 35. IMDb 5.4, Metacritic 34. Nick Morton, Tom Cruise, is a soldier of fortune who plunders ancient sites for timeless artifacts and sells them to the highest bidder. When Nick and his partner come under attack in the Middle East, the ensuing battle accidentally unearths Amanet, a betrayed Egyptian princess who was entombed under the desert for thousands of years. With her powers constantly evolving, Morton must now stop the resurrected monster as she embarks on a furious rampage through the streets of London. Trash film.
Seems trash. Why do it?
Why do they? I love that they went to all the effort to set up a horror cinematic universe monster, whatever it is, and like it's just failed at the first hurdle.
Cooked it on the first one.
Bummer. Did they not watch the earlier Mummy films? Like they were fun.
They were so much fun.
Anyway.
They just stuffed it.
Yeah, they stuffed it. Okay, we've got Song to Song, set against the Austin, Texas music scene. Two entangled couples, struggling songwriter Faye Rooney Mara and B.V. Ryan Gosling, and music mogul cook Michael Fassbender, and the waitress Natalie Portman, who ensnares. I don't know what happened to this sentence. They chase success through a rock and roll landscape of seduction and betrayal. It sounds like a mix between actually, no, it doesn't. It just sounds like, what's that one with Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like
Star is Born.
Or Nashville. Sounds like Nashville, but without anything that's actually interesting.
Yeah, and Ryan Gosling this year was also in La La Land, wasn't he? Oh, no, the year before.
Different year. But
year before.
Round about the time. He's just making his way through the towns.
Making his way through towns. Playing his piano. All right, cool. The Book of Henry is next. Critics 22, audience 63, IMDb 6.6, Metacritic 31. Single mother Susan Carpenter works as another waitress, alongside her feisty family friend Sheila. Taking care of everyone and everything in his own way is Susan's older son, Henry. Protective of his brother and a tireless supporter of his often self-doubting mother, Henry blazes through the days like a comet. When Susan discovers that the family next door harbors a dark secret, she's surprised to learn that Henry has devised a plan to help the young daughter. It's got the kid from It in this one. What's his name? I don't know. The kind of the big-eyed kid, the main one.
Oh, that kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what his name is. Is Susan Carpenter the name of the woman on Neighbours?
Could well be.
I feel like that might be a thing.
Let us know in the comments below. 50 Shades Darker. Critics 11, audience 48, IMDb 4.6, Metacritic 33. So when a wounded Christian Grey, Jamie Dornan, tries to entice a cautious Anastasia Steele, Dakota Johnson, back into his life, she demands a new arrangement before she will give him another chance. As the two begin to build trust and find stability, shadowy figures from Christian's past start to circle them, determined to destroy their hopes for a future together. This is terrible. This film's bad. I've seen most of it.
I've not seen any of them, and everything that I know about the whole 50 Shades series is just that one thing that everybody knows. So the fact that there's other parts of it is news to me.
Then we have A Cure for Wellness. I've accidentally put all the details for this in the film next, so I don't know what Aftermath's about. But A Cure for Wellness, I've seen, so I can talk to it, but I can't talk to Aftermath.
Okay, good.
Dane DeHaan, the previously you mentioned Dane DeHaan is in A Cure for Wellness. Basically, he's like a businessman who goes to this remote location in the Swiss Alps to retrieve his company's CEO. But then he ends up in a wellness center and everything goes a bit weird, bit creepy and a bit weird, bit horror, bit weird. And then it just turns into an action film at the end and everyone hates it. The end. Aftermath is a film that I will.
It's a film.
Google.
I reckon it is about what happens after an alien invasion.
And who do you think's in it?
I think, let's say Mickey Rooney.
Yep.
Mickey Rooney and the rest of it's animated.
like a Roger Rabbit.
That's like, yeah. Oh no, reverse. More like Monkey Bone.
Okay, got ya.
No, I think that's the same as Roger Rabbit. The one where, like that one scene in Mary Poppins where they're in the cartoon world. It's just Mickey Rooney going, "Oh God, everything's all broken."
Well, you're close, I guess. It's two strangers' lives become inextricably bound together after a devastating plane crash. Inspired by actual events, Aftermath tells the story of guilt and revenge after an air traffic controller's Scoot McNairy
Scooty!
error causes the death of a construction foreman's Arnold Schwarzenegger's wife and daughter. It's got Arnie. It's a serious Arnie film. I don't think he does much punching.
So no Mickey Rooney.
No Mickey Rooney. I will say you were close because I thought Scoot McNairy sounded a bit like Mickey Rooney.
It does a little bit. Scoot McNairy is the reboot of Mickey Rooney.
That's right. Yeah, the reboot of a person. It's got like 6s and stuff. It's fine. It's probably not low enough. Then we've got King Arthur: Legend of the Sword. Critics 30, audience 69, IMDb 6.7, Metacritic 41. Basically, it's about King Arthur.
Yeah, say no more, really.
Yeah, it's got that dude from Sons of Anarchy.
Chris Nodsworth.
That's him. Then we've got Baywatch, the reboot of Baywatch with The Rock and Zach Nutt. What's his name?
Yeah, it's got Zach.
Is it Zach? Is that his name?
I think it's Zach.
Zac Efron. Yeah.
Yep.
Then we've got Transformers: The Last Night, which is it's a bit of a twist for Transformers. It becomes more of a romance, and it's about a one-night stand that Optimus Prime has with Empathicon.
King Arthur.
Humans are at war with the Transformers, and Optimus Prime is gone. The key to saving the future lies buried in the secrets of the past and the hidden history of Transformers on Earth. Now it's up to the unlikely alliance of inventor Cade Yeager, Bumblebee, an English lord, and an Oxford professor to save the world. It's like they got...
Why can't people have names that exist? Cade Yeager. Like, gee,
yeah.
Liz.
He was studying with his Oxford professor, Gardner Lodge.
I hate it.
Yeah, it's a Trashformers film. Then we've got The Dark Tower, which apparently was very disappointing. But it's Idris Elba as the last gunslinger in this Neil Gaiman film. Stephen King. Sorry, what am I thinking of?
Stephen King.
American Gods or something?
This movie was being made for decades. Like,
oh, really?
Just for so long. And they could have made it amazing, and it should be made amazing. But from what I saw in the trailer, they took 3 of the middle books of the series and turned it into a 2-hour action movie, which is not at all what it is.
Damn. Then we have Ghost in the Shell. I saw this. It was not great, not terrible. It's got some fun CGI bits, but I think the most outcry to it was the fact that Scarlett Johansson is not Asian. And she's playing essentially a Japanese robot. So, I
mean, I'd argue with that because she's also not the internet, but she was in Lucy.
Yeah.
And Her.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, she's quite... This is actually the 4th film in that list.
In the series.
Yeah, look, it's I would say it goes off the list because it's not bad enough. Then we have Justice League, who, once again, I've put all the details for Justice League in the next film, so that'll be fun for us to get to that. But Justice League is about Superman and everything else. Critics rating 40, audience rating 71. People love Justice League. They shouldn't. It's bad. Then we have Jigsaw, which we talked about earlier. So Tobin Bell this is the origins of Jigsaw. Tobin Bell plays a 5-year-old Jaguar Saunus is his name, and he gets his first kill in kindergarten. That's definitely what it's about. Don't question me. Then we have Wonder Wheel. I initially thought this was a typo, and then I discovered it is actually a film. And I thought about the fun of if we could watch Wonder Woman and then Wonder Wheel.
And Wonder Wheel.
But I don't think I want to. I want to cancel this because it's Woody Allen. Then we have A Bad Mum's Christmas.
Good.
Which I also want to cancel just because it looks bad. Then we have All Eyes on Me, which is a Tupac Shakur biopic. Apparently, it's a waste of talent because the guy that plays Tupac is like the spitting image of him. But unfortunately, the film is not good. But it has a high audience. Well, it has a comparatively high audience rating of 53 when you look at the critics of 18.
Perfect.
Then we have. I'm just going to express around this. We've got The House. Scott and Kate Johansson must figure out a way to earn some money after their daughter's scholarship falls through. When all else fails, the desperate couple joins forces with their neighbor Frank to start an underground casino in his home. I want to say this is like
it's a Will Ferrell movie.
Yeah. Then we have The Nut Job 2, Nutty by Nature, which just looks like a bad Kung Fu Panda. Then we have Tyler Perry's Boo 2, A Medea Halloween. Critic score of 4, IMDb 3.8, Metacritic 17, audience 20.
Wow.
Yeah, Halloween, Tyler Perry Halloween film. I think he must make just a bunch of these.
I think he just churns them out.
And now we're just getting started because that's the name of the next film.
That's good.
Critics 4, audience 10. Duke Diver is living the high life as the freewheeling manager of a luxurious resort in Palm Springs, California. He soon faces competition from Leo, a former military man who likes the same woman that Duke is interested in. When Diver's past suddenly catches up with him, he must put aside his differences and reluctantly team up with Leo to stop whoever is trying to kill him.
That sounds very bad in a good way.
Then we have Leatherface, which is like an origin story for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Then we have The Shack, which is Sam Worthington.
It's a low-budget version of The House.
Yep. This just looks kind of boring. And then we have, finally, The Space Between Us, which is a pun because I think the child goes to space or something. Gardner Elliott. Gardner Elliott. No relation to Gardner Lodge. Everyone's called Gardner, apparently, in 2017. The first human born on Mars begins an online friendship with Tulsa, a teen in Colorado. On his maiden voyage to Earth, the 16-year-old finally gets to experience all the joys and wonders of a world he could only read about. Problems arise when scientists discover that Gardner's organs can't withstand the atmosphere. Sorry, I got really emotional.
You're choking up.
United with
a bit
Tulsa.
close to home, is it, Richard?
Yeah, a little bit. I am a Martian. United with Tulsa and on the run, the interplanetary visitor races against time to unravel the mysteries of how he came to be and where he belongs in the universe. Oh boy, that's the list. It's long. It's long. So I'm saying I'm just going to crack straight into it. Let's cull this down. Ghost in the Shell. Let's get rid of. I think Transformers, Baywatch. Just don't want to.
Yeah, I think we just got to aim for some of these real low voice.
Yeah.
Because some of them were slightly middling.
So I think Space Between Us goes then.
Yeah.
Although it does have a critic of 16, but audience 54.
We can do lower.
The Shack's too high.
Yeah, it's far too high. That's always a good film.
Yeah, right? Justice League, Cure for Wellness, Get Out of Here. Any you want to move on?
Get rid of Nut Job 2 because it's a sequel.
Yep, and Daddy's Home too, or Daddy Homes.
Daddy Homes. A Bad Mum's Christmas. Get rid of that.
Yeah.
So
Wonder Wheel's cancelled.
Wonder Wheel's cancelled. Jigsaw don't care. Justice League don't care.
Yep. All Eyes on Me. I think let's move that on.
Dark Tower is all like
Geostorm's way too good.
Way too good.
Australia Day, we said we'd get rid of.
The Only Boy Living in New York sounds terrible, but the critics is 34, which is on the high end of it.
Okay, move it on.
Same with Amityville, The Awakening.
Yeah. Slammer Jammer had to go because it's unsure if that's terrible or great. I think Ring stays in.
Ring stays in.
Even though I guess it's a sequel, but
it's a reboot, so it's allowed.
It's a reboot. I think Chips goes out though.
Yeah, get rid of that.
What about the Bye Bye Man?
Ugh. I'm angry just thinking about it, and I don't want to be angry.
Okay.
So
Bye Bye Man.
Don't say it. Don't think it. Gee.
If you say it 3 times, nothing happens.
Get rid of Kidnap. That's middling.
Yep. Stratton.
No, that one's pretty bad.
Okay. Stratton stays.
That's got a 0. Score a 0.
Oi, oi, oi. Arsenal.
Yeah. Critics score 3. Oh, that could be a goer.
Okay. Snowman.
What do you think?
Nah, move it on. I think move on 9/11 because I just don't want to deal with that.
Not in the mood.
I don't want to deal with Naked either.
No,
you've already seen Suburban.
Yeah.
Song to Song. Is that the Ryan Gosling one?
Yeah, that was one.
Nah, move that on. Book of Henry's got that annoying kid. 50 Shades Darker. It's just trash.
Get rid of
King Arthur. Don't want to look at a king. And that count. I don't want to look at a king. Let's get rid of Arsenal. Apparently, there's a king in that too.
Yeah, there is. That's what they told us. Don't want the Dark Tower because it might actually be a decent film, but it's just in comparison to the book.
Yep,
it's trash, and that's why everyone hated it.
We got rid of the space between us, so I think we should get rid of the mountain between us as well.
That's right.
It only makes sense. I don't want to watch Leatherface.
Me neither.
I don't want to watch Tyler Perry's Boo 2, Immediate Halloween. I forget what the house is. Oh, that's
the house was the Will Ferrell one. Get rid of it. It was sort of middling.
So we've got Just Getting Started, Aftermath, The Mummy. Aftermath, not bad enough. Okay, Just Getting Started, The Mummy, Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, The Last Face, Rings, Flatliners, Stratton, The Emoji Movie.
See, my vote is for Stratton because the 0 from critics really stood out to me. And also I know nothing about Stratton.
Now, Stratton's the Carl Urban one, isn't it?
Oh, okay.
Oh, no. Sorry. Dominic Cooper.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah, it's like the cheap Carl Urban. Was he in Preacher?
No.
Yeah, he was. He was the main dude in Preacher.
Yes, he was. Yep.
He's all right. Okay.
Unless we do an animated one and we do back-to-back Emoji Movie versus Coco, or we go down ones that are based on cities or areas, not cities. So the Florida Project and Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. That's my link.
Yep.
Mudbound versus
The Mummy.
The Mummy. That makes sense in my head. Wind River versus Flatliners for reasons. Princess Sid obviously needs to be against The Last Face.
Obviously. If you need to ask why...
Yeah, then you don't know. If you don't know already, I'm certainly not going to tell you. And Call Me By Your Name, and the name is Stratton. I think I've missed some because it wasn't equal. I might have doubled up, but... So what do you think? What are you feeling?
I think let's get rid of The Last Face.
Yeah.
I think The Florida Project.
Yeah.
As the good film. And
I think so.
The Emoji Movie as it is James, I really don't want to watch the emoji.
I kind of really. I feel like it would just be very loud and lots of yelling.
I think the Florida Project versus Flatliners because
I reckon that
it's both fleur.
Fleur.
Yeah, and they're doing a project of some sort to like see stuff.
And it might be in Florida. We don't know where it's at.
That's right. Could be.
Could be.
All will be revealed when we watch it.
I reckon that's go.
That's the go. All right. Episode 6. These are getting harder and harder to deliberate. I think it's taken us 2 hours to do that. We are watching The Florida Project and Flatliners next episode.
Yeah. So you should too.
Thanks for listening to us. I've been Rich.
I've still been James.
And that's Popcorn. I forget how I end these things. How do we end these?
We say, go have a nice time.
Go have a nice time.
Go have a nice time.
Go have a nice time. Like us on Facebook and on Instagram. And send me an email at thatispopcorn@gmail.com. I think that's it. And tweet us at thatspopcorn.
Yeah. Give us a tweet.
Instagram is thatispopcorn because someone already took That's Popcorn, which is
Don't
wild.
tell George Clooney all the bad things we said.
Don't tell him, guys. It's just between you and us.
If you know Shaun Micallef.
Yep. Ask him about the Kerrigan thing.
Yeah. That's a question. And draw a picture of Christian Bale's beard.
Thank you. CBB
There you go.
in my EM. That didn't work. Bye.
Okay, bye.